Hello, everybody. So, my name is Gabe, and I know I probably sound a lot more like happy and hopeful than I was in the last video, and that's because I'm in a lot better of a mood. Um, got over all that was bothering me, and I wanted to talk again. This is another of my makeshift commentary videos because I still don't know how to edit. And if anybody, and I mean anyone, would feel like I don't know, showing me how to, you would be awesome, and I'd give you a nice, consensual, virtual kiss. So, I've been, um, I actually want to talk about a few things, though, as usual. And one of the things I wanted to say is I'm going to attempt to cut down my ums. I realized after a man commented in my last video, he said that I need to work on my confidence. And honestly, thank you. Thank you very much. I do plan on like trying to get more confident and trying to sound more like that I actually am, excited and whatnot. Um I'm playing this game, Void Breaker. Peak game. If you haven't played it, strongly suggest it. You really should play it. It's great. Um yeah. So what I wanted to talk about is it's I guess coming to terms with a lot of things cuz when I was a kid, I always had a huge dream. What is the? Oh boy, haven't played this game in a while, and it's probably gonna show. That's not good. But I I've come to terms recently with the idea that I'm not like for a very long time. I always had the big dream of I was gonna become a YouTuber. You know, the standard kid dream. That's like what every kid dreamed of. At least when I was growing up. Like I remember talking to my third grade class about how we were going to become great YouTubers, and that was like what everybody said they were gonna do when they grew up. They're gonna be a YouTuber. They're gonna be as big as Jacksepticeye and Dan TDM and all that. And that was all of our dreams. And um oh boy, already gotta work on it some more. I'm sorry, but we talked about it, and recently I've just tried to come to terms with the fact that as much as I would love it, I'm probably never going to be um like the world's next big YouTuber. I would love that. I've always had a dream of being big and being like well known. That's my dream. And I will always have this dream. No matter how old I get, I've always dreamed of being somebody big, being out there, being robust and bigger than life. That was my dream. And I've always dreamed about that. It this that dream has actually sparked a couple, I wouldn't say arguments, but disagreements with my girlfriend because she's gotten worried about the idea that like I would never really be happy with anything. And as much as I don't want to admit it, that's almost what I am like. I am so incredibly bad at like staying satisfied and staying like content. I'm always moving. I always want to improve even like when it's like hurting my mental health to try and improve. And that's always been who I was, and I'm trapped underneath the floor. Oh boy. Um Welcome to Void Breaker. Okay. Yeah, this is a thing, I guess. Um we're just going to forfeit run. Yeah. So and I've always pushed and strived for myself to be better. Like I to the point where I don't even like I don't mind when that's a lie. I do. I like it bothers me when I see a person being only complacent and never striving to be more than they were. Like, I've had arguments with people about that because, like, I'll hear people say, I'll hear a person say that they're like content with like making only minimum wage because that's all they need, and like, even though I am aware that that is their life and I have no right to get mad at them for how they want to live their life, it bothers me because it makes me think, why would you not want to be more? Why would you want to just leave as is as is? There's I've always um and and it's led to some arguments with my friends too, because I'll hear them say they're complacent with something, and I'll start telling them, but like, why would you be? Why don't you feel the need um to improve and make yourself better even if you feel that you're good enough? And I admit, I know very well that this is a bad mindset and you probably don't want to have it, but I've never been able to get rid of it. And as I said, that made coming to terms with this a very, very hard thing to do. I am going to, while I'm talking, I'm going to check some bindings. Um but it came coming to terms with this a rather hard thing for me to do. For me to fully accept that I'm not the biggest, and like, the chances of me actually becoming a huge YouTuber are slim. And I'm not saying that it could never happen. I hope for it to happen each time I post a video. I hope that my video is gonna hit the home page of a bunch of people, and I'm gonna have people, like, even if it's hate comments, I'm gonna have people in my comments giving me feedback, talking to me. That's always been something I hope for with each post, and I usually hope to upgrade my, like, fix my humor, my jokes with each post I do. And that's where I wanted to lead into for the next part of this. A lot of my videos, like, there's a lot of inconsistency with how I am in my videos. Some videos I'll be lively and excited, and then some I'll just seem like this is my first ever time being on the internet, and I'm absolutely terrified of everything you all have to say. And that's because a lot of it can be attributed to I don't have my friends with me, and I know that I should probably be comfortable online without friends, but I don't, like, I have always been a person that felt much more comfortable when I had my friends with me. So when I'm in a video that has Jason Gavin, who, for anybody who has watched my videos before, they'll recognize those names. I'm always playing with them. Um but to not do something with them, it doesn't feel normal, it doesn't feel right, and I feel weird about it. I don't like to be without my friends. It makes me very comfortable online. Um and I love I love playing games with them, which I'm sure has irritated at least Jace sometimes, because every single night I'll be talking to him about we should play a new game and we should play this and that, or we should hop on the finals. God forbid I suggest the finals. Um and it's because, like, at the end of the day, I don't let them hear this video, but I love both of them dearly. They are some of my favorite people in the world. They've always been there for me. They're amazing. I and it makes me feel more comfortable online to be talking to people that I know, and it makes me feel as if, like, it's why on some videos, a lot of them honestly, most of my whenever I have them, I in a call with me, a lot of times I won't even address the video themselves, and I'll just instead um talk to talk to my friends the whole time, and I'll forget I'm recording. I'll make a 40-minute video because I just didn't remember that I was recording this time. Um And I've been like that for a while. This has definitely made it to, like, I'm sure some of my content just might feel like a glorified podcast, and I've kind of come to terms with that. But this is, again, like, I swear this is genuinely leading to somewhere instead of me just talking for a while. Um I've like I'm a very outgoing person. Um I love talking to people. I adore being out there with folks. It's fun. It's great. I love it. With that being said, I have a lot of like I used to have a lot of anxiety. That's where the name Suited Up Skeleton comes from. Little bit of lore about me. When I was younger, I used to walk around with a suit and skeleton mask around town, and just like I would walk around my hometown with a suit and skeleton mask on, and it would give me this burst of confidence, because in my mind I would go, I can talk to anybody. Like, it always would make me feel much more confident to have a mask on, and to have the feeling that I could talk to people, and um I could feel comfortable doing it because they wouldn't know that it was me. And that was always something that was like one of my favorite things about the mask. And again, that's why I named myself Suited Up Skeleton, because that was my whole identity for so long, so incredibly long. Um, but then I just kind of grew out of it. I got more confident going outside on my own. I got more confident in my looks, my voice. I'm sure there's people to this day that still find my looks bad and my voice annoying, and to that, um, all right. But I personally, I've come to terms with that too. And it's why I also felt comfortable on YouTube for a while, because to me it was, hey, people that I've never met in my life are allowed to watch videos of mine. They will never know who I am, and that's that. That was always my mindset. With that being said, I'm now making um very introspective videos on myself, so obviously that idea is now kind of void. But um so I hope in my own little messed up way I'm actually managing to prove that I'm tying this together, and um that this whole rant of mine actually is managing to make a little bit of sense in its own right. If not, oh well. But I um this is what I wanted to tie together about the confidence thing. I know I need to work on my confidence. I've accepted that. And I I've been taking I do theater, so I'll be able to have more confidence, and I do choir a lot. That really has helped my confidence. Truthfully, if you saw how I was back in 6th grade compared to how I am now, you would think, um wow, he doesn't feel like shame at all anymore. And honestly, that wouldn't even be too far fetched. I've killed my social anxiety for the most part. Every once in a while I'll still get worried about being in a public environment with people I don't know. That still worries me every once in a while. But where the fuck are the enemies? Are the enemies in the room with us? In the galaxy with us? Uh okay, back to it. But as I said, I went back to making these super introspective videos. Well, not back, but I turned to making these more introspective videos because I don't want to, I guess, try and hide myself behind a virtual or physical mask. Um, at first, I tried to kill that fear on TikTok by no longer wearing a mask in my videos, and that was one of the things I did. And honestly, I think that was one of my best decisions I have made because I like I love being able to post on TikTok and I I guess feel comfortable with myself. That like I'm sure to a lot of people that isn't a lot, but that it means a lot to me. And um it's all together it's a process for me. And for those who think this is a very boring process that you really don't care about, I get that. I probably wouldn't care either if I was scrolling YouTube and I saw this type of video just pop up. I would more than likely skip it and I wouldn't watch it all the way through if I did click on it. So I don't judge anybody who doesn't even make it to this point. I don't know how long it's going to be. But anybody who does, it means a lot to me that people are like willing to listen to my little rants um and hear me talk about whatever I'm talking about today, or people who watch me play with Jason Gavin and usually irritate Jace, do whatever I can. But altogether this means the world to me, getting to post and be out there, even though I probably won't be like the world's next Markiplier or Moist Critical or anything like that. And objectively, I'm fine with that because I I've come to terms with the idea that I'm not any of them. I'm not um Mark. I'm not Charlie. I'm Gabe. That's who I am, and I need to come to terms with I can't be like them. I can't be the next Markiplier just because I tried to force my humor to be like him, and I can't be like Moist Critical just because I make rant videos now. That's not what I can do. I gotta be myself, and I gotta stick to that instead of picking something random to do. Altogether, I think you guys are great. I think that doing this is great, and I think that every everybody except for racists and bad people are great. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, though. I know I said great a lot, and I apologize, but goodbye, and I love you all consensually. Bye, y'all.